Today we have a very special guest joining us. He has been dominating the trading world for a while now, and with a recent payout of $170,000, not only he is an exceptional trader, but also a CEO of a funded squad. I'm really excited to introduce you to Ajwad, better known as Falcon Trader. All right, so tell me, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me here on the podcast.
Pleasure is all mine. So, first of all, let this audience know who are you, and what are the things that you have learned in your journey, and what is the background of yourself.
All right. So I am Ajwad. Many people in the industry they know me by the name Falcon Trader. I am a forex trader, current co-founder and CEO of a prop firm that was just launched a few days ago. I will tell you how I started. So it was back in 2017, or I would say late 2016, when one of my friend he told me about trading. At that time, I was just starting out my bachelor's in computer science, and I had zero idea what trading is, how market works, and all those things. So when I came to know about trading, I started to look into it, but I did not start at that time. Later on in January 2017 is the time when I started learning about trading. Took me 2 years to start making a little bit of money. I wasn't really profitable in 2017 and 18. I did make a withdrawal from my personal account in 2018 couple of times, but overall I wasn't really profitable. Then in 2019, I came across FTMO, and at the time, no one really knew about how prop firm works, how and there were not even many traders out there who were taking the challenges with prop firms, and there were only like one or two firms as well. So I came across FTMO, did the challenge with them. First, did not pass it, but did not fail it either, because back in the days you had only 30 days to complete phase one of the challenge and 60 days in order to complete phase two of the challenge. And if you were not able to make profit within 30 days, you used to get free retry. So I got the free retry, did it again, passed the challenge, got the friend account, made profit, received the payout, then failed the account, and then later on kept trading with FTMO, my personal account. There were also one firm which was Blue FX, and they were providing instant funding. It's what we are also doing, but we have more options for traders as compared to what back in the days Blue FX was doing. Then later on in 2021, I was making no profits, wasn't making thousands of dollars every month, like tens of thousands of dollars, but I was making profits. So I decided to start my YouTube channel in 2021. I started talking about prop firms, and again in 2021 was the very first year when people started to come to know about how prop model work, and they started to come to know about different firms like FTMO, the funded trader program. They were relatively new at the time. Funding Talent, which got shut, I won't say shut down, they got bankrupted. So started talking about that, started sharing my journey, started sharing my payouts. Took me, like I would say, from 2021, mid of 2021, when I started documenting my journey, till like the early 2024, this year, January or February. It took me 2.5 years. I made around $170,000 in payouts with firms, or over 300,000 overall profits from trading. And then there are, of course, the investor capital who, like I was trading, but of course, that's a different story. So yeah, now when I will tell you why I started pro firms, I want to add that here is later in like late 2020, when after my forex fund was shut down by CFTC. So I was looking at the firms and I was seeing that they now are struggling, especially because MetaCore started to have issues. They first canceled the license with True Forex Fund. Then, after later on, the funded trader program started rejecting a lot of payout. At the same time, brokers started to shut down a lot of pro firms. They decided not to work with firms. So I knew that there are two reasons why firms are now going to go down and have started to go down. First is the legal issues. The second is the prop model that the current market has, the two-step standard challenge, which is like a copy paste of FTMO. Every firm that comes up, they just copy paste FTMO, to be honest. So I knew that they are not going to be sustainable. So I started working on the idea of starting my own firm. That idea wasn't new. It was back in 2023 early as well, but I could not start. Even if I started at the time, I was going to come with two-step challenge, simple model, just pass phase one, then pass phase two, then get different account and stuff like that. But what I did when I started to work on the idea that I need to bring a new thing in the industry other than two-step or one-step, I came across this idea that what if I start to offer, or we start to offer, instant funding, but not at the price that current industry have or the current models have, which is like if you want to trade a $25,000 account, you have to pay $1,100, $1,200. in order to get a $25,000 account, and that too you get with a trailing drawdown. That too, it's like literally 5% trailing drawdown and 3% daily drawdown, and it's like similar that you are paying the same amount and you're getting the same overall drawdown, but it's not an absolute drawdown. As well as there are not many features as well. So I decided there should be something that I reduce the price significantly to make it accessible to everyone, to start to give some payouts features, let's just say payout on demand, to start to give them the absolute drawdown concept in the instant funding instead of trailing drawdown. So while I was working, of course, at the same time, a lot of firms were going down. So we were just working in the back scene. So we did not really talk about that much on any social media. So I started, like when I finalized my funding model, I then started working on designing the models, working with the tech, as well as then working on the legal side of things. So a lot of things, like in the past 5 to 6 months, I would say, we made sure that when we are going to be launching, not only we launch with the most unique funding model, but at the same time, we made sure that the model is really, really sustainable for everyone out there. So of course, later on, I will be telling you more about in this podcast, how does the funding model work at Funded Squad, which is the name of my firm.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for the introduction. I mean, so okay, here's the thing. As you mentioned that you have gotten payouts, and so tell me about, like, how was the thing that when you started getting payouts, like after this hard work, like what was the thing like? How was the feeling that like?
It was just, to be honest, for me, a normal feeling. You know, when you start to receive money and if you start to become too excited, the problem comes. And this happens to 95, 96% traders out there, that when they just receive their payout, they end up filling the account. For me, it was a different story. Why? Because I received my biggest payout was with the Funded Trader program back in August 2022. At that time, I did receive like 7,000 something, my profit share. That was the biggest at that time for me. Now, when I received it, I literally tell you that after that, I held that account, that funded account, for over 500 days, for 1.5 years. I failed that account in February 2024. The video is on my channel. So I held that funded account for over the period of 1.5 years. Why? Because every time when I was trading, there were no emotions involved. I don't care whether the market is going to go up or down. The only thing I focus is I make sure that I am following my plan every single day when I'm trading, and make sure that whenever I'm reaching a specific profit, I would say threshold, let's say 2% or 3%, I'm stopping myself and I'm not going to be trading anymore until I request a withdrawal. And when I request a withdrawal, it's just like a normal payday. So that was the
Exactly.
thing for me.
As you just said, like, when a trader gets the payout, or a funded account, what I mean, like, they failed it. So I did pass the phase one and phase two, and I got my funded account. I made around 2% of the profit, and I was gonna just, call it a day. I was not gonna trade. But the second day, I just came to the my desktop, and just I was like, okay, let's just take a small trade, not the usual lot size, not that, lower risk and everything. So I took the trade. I was not aware that gold will have huge movement at that day, because there was no news, there was nothing major coming in. So I took the trade, and it went and another thing, like I think I did leave it on, and I went out with my friends. Then when I came back in the morning, I was like, it was negative. So I was like, okay, I just blew up the like around $1,000 there. So 1% was gone. And after that, I was like, let's little try to recover. So I did little bit of more trading. So I can say after that period of time, like I did not, like, still I had the account for next 30 days. I tried to trade every day, but then it started getting the losing streak. So it's just gone in next 30 days then. But I did manage my risk there. I did at my best, potential level that I could do.
So the thing, what happens and why I was really focused on the instant funding model at Funded Squad, why I wanted to bring that as well. There are time limits. So I'm not talking about the time limit to pass the challenge. I'm talking about psychologically. You start your phase one, you spend time in order to achieve a 8% or 10% profit target. There is a time involved here. Okay, you spend 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, maybe 10, 15 days, depending on how you trade. You pass the challenge, then you move on to where? Stage two or phase two. Once you move on to phase two, you have to achieve the target again, and you spend again time doing that. You make sure that you're following the plan, or maybe you are over risking, you just got lucky in passing phase two or whatever. But again, time is involved. So you are passing phase one, then you are passing phase two, then you are waiting for few days to receive your funded account, the agreements, and all those things. Once you receive your funded account, now because you have already waited too much, you spent your fees, and you want that fee back as well. You want to get back that fee. You look at the account which is like $100,000 and you think to yourself, okay, I should make 4 or 5%, which is $4 or 5,000. Now, because of this, because you already have made 8% and 5%, you think it's going to be exactly like that, and you say to yourself, I should be
Yeah.
making 5%. Now what happens, that you already completed phase one, which took you a lot of time. You already completed phase two, again took you a lot of time, and you are going to be doing the same. You're going to be spending a lot of time. When one trade, let's say, won't go in your favor, or two trades won't go in your favor, or you won't be reaching 3 4% or 5% within 2 to 3 days, you're going to be frustrated psychologically. That button, that trigger is going to come in, that you need to trade, you need to trade, I need to recover, I need to make profit. That's why even people who reach the funded account stage, majority of them, they never even receive the payout. Why? Because of this. That's why I wanted to bring the instant funding, and I wanted to make it accessible to everyone, for everyone. And it's the same. Let's say for $25,000 account, what we do, like with any firm, you pay $200 to take the challenge account of 25,000. We offer that $25,000 instant funding for just $249 per month. We put the monthly subscription. Of course, it's not going to be like, we can't make instant funding for just 249
Right.
for 25K account. It's not sustainable. So we made sure that we bring it the new model. Instead of like for 25K account charging $1,000, $1,200, let's make it easier for everyone so they can take the account. So we made it $249 for a 25K account. Okay, we said take the account, start trading, no restriction on your trading style. Just make sure that you are following the rules that are literally mentioned on FAQ, very easy to follow rules. And the rules are, do not risk more than, in terms of load, there is no in percentage risk. Well, we don't restrict that. We say on 25K account, we have a lot limit on forex pair, which is 2 lot per trade per pair. So if you want to trade 2 pairs at a time, you can trade 2 lot on one pair and 2 lot on second pair. We don't mind that, up to 2 lot. And in gold, we don't restrict anything, so you can trade whatever you want on gold. And
Right.
once you reach 5%, then you can request payout. It's payout on demand. As soon as you reach 5%, you get your payout. We offer the best scaling plan. Once you make 10%, you decide to apply for scaling plan, we double your account from 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, 200 to 400. Now, when we are doubling your account, you won't have to pay a new fee. Like, you will be paying the same fee, let's say, which is $249 for a 25K account. If even if you are trading a 200K account with us, we are offering you the same fee, which is going to be like 249. You're going to be paying us the
49.
same fee. But at 400K stage, we just remove the fee. We say you don't need to pay, and we are increasing your profit split at the same time. Okay, and we also have 50K account. So 50K account is like, we are offering you $50,000 instant funded account by just paying for $49. You take the instant funded account, you start making profits. Now here the lot size restrictions are that you cannot open more than 4 lots on one single pair at one time. Okay, so if you want to trade, let's say Euro USD, you open 4 lot on Euro USD. 2 minutes later, you decide to open a trade on GBP USD or whatever pair, you can open up to 4 lot again on that pair. So that's how the restriction works. And again, no restriction on gold. You're trading the instant funding. Okay, you have no restriction. We are not saying that don't risk more than 2%, don't risk 3%. I came across with this rule, but we removed it within like 12 hours. We decided there is no need for us to put any restriction on risk per trade. Make 5%, whether it takes you 1 day, whether it takes you 10 days. Whenever you reach 5%, we allow you to request a payout. Your request payout button becomes eligible. You click on it, request will go out, you will fill the KYC and all those things, and you will be getting the payout, even if it's Saturday or Sunday. We don't mind. If there is going to be ever delay on Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be by the banking system, by your bank side. We're going to be processing your payout through Rise or through crypto, and it's going to be like you will be simply getting the payment.
So as you mentioned before, like regarding the platforms not getting payouts and stuff like that, like recently there was an incident with funding pips. Have you heard of funding pips?
Yeah, yeah, of course I
So
know
they
them.
are denying payouts to a lot of people now. They have started
Every
denying
firm is
payouts.
denying payouts though.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
problem with the problem with the current model, I told you, they are copy paste of each other. Okay,
yeah,
there is nothing new that they are doing. So there is a pool of 100,000 traders. They want to get the funded account. How many firms are offering them two-step challenge? Like 200, 300 firms. So they all are going to the same 200, 300 firms. Market
yeah.
is saturated for two-step evaluation. At the same time, same 100,000 traders. But how many of them are there? How many firms are there who are offering $25,000 instant funded account for 249 and $50,000 instant funded account for 449? Only one firm. That's why I said earlier that we made sure the model is so sustainable that it's going to last forever. It's not going to be like we are bringing the same things and nothing is being changed here.
Actually, that's an interesting point. I like the rules, like, having an lot size rule, especially that you mentioned, that having only two lot size on a per pair. So that's an interesting rule when you are trading, because people, I think they put really better lot size when they are trading, when they get frustrated, or get in the emotion side. So that's an interesting rule to prevent that. And also, I like that the switching to the models, that is like instant model, and especially with the lower fees, so people can access that. That's a really interesting thought, to be honest. In the industry till now, as many platform I have done podcasts with, or tried out the accounts, I have never seen a instant funding model at 249, to be honest, because I have seen the price. Even with a 50K or 25K, they are charging around 700 to 1000 in between those, if they have a good
Yeah,
reputation. That's what I'm talking about. So it's not really. So let's, as there is a really bad side to this right now, prop firm side especially, like, there is a lot of prop firms are going down. They are not giving payouts, or so how are you guys different from those people? And also, like, how can you tell the community that you have a different things from there?
that's a good question. I will tell you a few things. First of all, the sustainability of the current prop model that I was talking about earlier, because the model we know, we have seen it, everyone has tested it. It's no longer sustainable. Many firms have gone down. They had to shut down their operation because what they do, they all rely on you failing the challenge, you failing the account, so that way they can pay out to those very small portion who are making profits. What we are doing here and why we are different, why our model is sustainable is, let's say that you take the account, you start trading. Now, as soon as you make 5%, you request a payout. But if you are a profitable trader, let's say out of 100 traders, we are getting 50 traders who are making profits with us, okay, who are reaching 5% profit share in a month, and it's really easy to achieve. You, when especially you are on instant fund, and you can literally just start trading right away, and it's going to take you what, on a 25K account, if you are trading with true load, that's like 63 or 65 pips or something like that, 62 pips that you
Yeah.
need to make in order to reach 5% profit threshold that we have. Now we have traders who are making, let's say, consistent profits with us. It's easier for us to put them on the live account. Okay, why it's easier for us? Because first of all, they have received couple of payouts. Second of all, we put lot restriction on purpose. We want to see the consistency. We want to see how they are trading when they are losing, and how they are recovering, and how they are making profit. Unlike the challenge models, we do have the challenge models as well, where there is no lot restriction and anything. But unlike the challenge models, where you can literally, if you lose one trade with 1% risk, on the next trade you are going with 30 lots, you are going with 5% risk, and there is no control on risk management. On
Yeah.
our model, it's not going to be like that. You can risk whatever you want. You can literally, you don't need to even put stop loss. But I'm just saying that if you are managing the risk in a way, and we are monitoring, our algorithms that we develop, they are monitoring that your risk is being well maintained, that you are making profits as well, day in day out. When I say day in day out, I don't mean like every day, I mean like consistently. Then it's easier for us to identify the traders, and easier for us to put them on the live account, even if we just copy them with a very small margin. But overall, it's really, really better as compared to the two step, because we are not relying all on you failing the evaluation. We are just giving away instant funding. Yes, there are people who will still not be able to make profits. Good for them. What we do, the best thing that we do, let's say at the end of a month, you pay 249 at the start, you started trading on 25K account, but at the end of a month, for whatever reason, if you had a bad month or anything, you could not reach the profit, like 5% threshold. You could not reach, and you are like at, let's say, 4%, and the month is either about to end or it's ended.
Mhm.
If you start from the second month, you won't have to start from break even, from the initial balance. You're going to be starting from where you left. Okay, when
Right.
you're starting at second month, let's say if you were at 26,000 balance, you're going to be starting from 26,000. Then it will be what, you will just need to make $250. You will request a withdrawal. So that's the
Amazing.
best thing that we did, to make sure that everyone who, for some reason, is not profitable at the end of a month, they can literally just come back to us. They can continue the subscription. If they continue the subscription, they will be trading from where they are ending the first month. Let's say they decide not to continue the subscription. That's fine. They will initially receive the email that your account is breached, because it's locked for 30 days. Unless and until you pay again, automatically it's get renewed, but from where you're living. But let's say you decide not to continue, you decide you don't want to trade with us, you will get the email account is breached. We will have in our system that you left your account at XYZ price, okay, balance. But within 90 days, if you decide to trade us again, okay,
Mhm.
trade with us again, you come back to us, you take the account again 25,000. Now you are automatically be gonna getting new account of 25,000, but you just need to send us one message on live chat or one email to us sport@finitsquad.com that you took the account. We will check on our end that yes, you left at this balance. We will deposit the same balance to your new account. We offer this within 90 days if you come back to us. We are gonna be giving you the same account balance where you are living at the end of a month.
All right, that's really nice. And also, people, you need to understand that this guy, he have done trading. He has been sharing his everything on his YouTube channel. So it's a really important thing when the CEO himself, he have traded and he understand the rules with other prop firms, and now he's doing his own thing. So obviously, this is going to be different than the other prop firms that are out there. So tell us more little bit about your journey. Like, what kind of phases have you gone through, or like challenges have you failed? Like something about that. A trader needs to go through that phase, and also like how you will advise this myself or any other new trader or beginner or people who are at the level of just at a break even stage. So how would you advise them to go through that?
So what I did and what I went through, and then how you can learn from it and how I learned from it, I'm going to put it in one simple example. Like back in 2017, 18, I understood how trading works. I was learning from my mentor. I had the strategy. I was trading with that. The problem every single time was, and that may have happened to you as well, but I have seen hundreds of traders out there who I have talked to over the past few years. It has happened to them. Okay. Now the thing is, once you are waiting for the opportunity and you're a beginner trader, maybe 1 year, 2 years, you are into trading for just this much time. You're still a beginner. You should know that even after 2 years of trading you are trading, you know what you need to do, you're waiting for the right opportunity, you know the rules and everything. But when you see markets suddenly moving up with a lot of momentum or moving down with a lot of momentum, you tell yourself you need to get into the trade or otherwise you will miss out. So you take the trade. Now, because you are always trying to chase the market, that means you're not following your rule. When you're not following your rules, at the end, what's happening, you don't even know if the trade where you need to exit now. You entered, yes, but what is the exit plan? There is no exit plan because you jumped into it without any plan. You jumped into it based on your emotions, based on your thinking that you need to get into the trade. This
Agree.
was the issue. I had the strategy. I knew what I'm doing wrong, but I kept doing it again and again and again. Now, how I would say you need to get rid of if you are having any bad, I would say, habit in your trading. Just look at your life, look around how you are living your life. Example: let's say you drink a lot of Fanta, you drink a lot of Sprite or Coca-Cola. We know it's not good for health, but we still drink it. We know it kills us slowly, but we still drink it. It's same for trading. We know that XYZ thing that we're going to be doing, chasing the market, over risking, over trading, is going to take our account, it's going to blow our account, but we still do it. Try to remove one bad habit from your life. Do it again and again and again. Like one thing, let's say if you feel like you are getting a lot of weight, you're gaining a lot of weight, just cut the sugar. When you cut the sugar, you will start to see discipline in your body. You will start to see how you are behaving to other things. It's the same thing that applies to trading. If you just start to implement one good habit, you start to just make sure, no matter what, whatever happens, I'm not going to get into the trade when I don't see that market is presenting me the opportunity that meets my trading criteria. Ultimately, you're going to be only like cherry picking up the trades, making sure, oh, this trade looks good, this trade meets my criteria. Whenever you're going to be taking those trades, your trading balance sheet, your profit loss sheet, it's going to look way better than right now. So that's the number one advice. The second advice, when it comes to prop trading, even if you're on instant funding or you are on one step challenge, two step, whatever the model you like, never force yourself into thinking that you need to complete the challenge as soon as possible. Why do traders fail? Why do you think there are two phases? Why do you think FTMO spent millions of dollars in research to bring two phases back in 2015?
Yeah.
Because it's known, it's like human psychology. You are passing the challenge already, phase one, then you have to do it again. So what you need to do, you need to rush out. That's the problem. You do yourself, you always rush out. When you rush out in order to pass phase one and then phase two, and then you have to wait again 1 month to get the payout or 14 days to get the payout, again you're going to be rushing out. So whenever you are forcing yourself to try to do things as soon as possible, what's going to ultimately happen, you're always going to be failing the challenge. So eliminate that. Stop thinking about that you need to pass the challenge. You spend your hard-earned money. I always say this on my channel when I make videos. You're spending your hard-earned money on buying the challenges. Why are you wasting that by always trying to chase the market by completing the challenge as soon as you can? What are you going to do if you will pass the challenge in one day? Are you
Yeah.
going to be reaching your payout? Are you going to be following your rules? Most of the times you don't do that. So
No.
why you need to do? So that's my point here.
All right, all right. So also you mentioned about the trading. What is your trading style like? Or what kind of a strategy? And also in the back in the day when you became a profitable trader, do you do like journaling, or do you
That's a good
do
question.
that?
I used to journal, but personally, I think many times, unless or until you are very disciplined, you won't even look at your journal. Okay, and many traders they do it. They just spend so much time writing down, then they don't look back. However, if you are really passionate about trading and if you are really true to yourself, then I definitely recommend journaling because let's say that you take 5 trades this week. 3 weeks from now, or a month from now, or 2 months from now, you're not going to even remember what trades you took. Even though those 5 trades were profitable, or you made 2 trades profitable and 3 were losses, or whatever, you won't even remember. But you need to know what were you doing wrong, what were you doing right, what were the mistakes that you did, and how you need to overcome those mistakes or avoid those mistakes. So definitely journaling is recommended, but only if you are disciplined enough to go back to the book, to your documents, to journal, to see what you were doing. But if you're just going to be spending 2 hours a day writing down shit and you're never going to be looking back at it, so it's there is no point, to be
It's
honest, to
pointless.
waste that much time. Yeah. So that's like one thing. And coming to my trading strategy, how I trade these days, to be honest, like in last few months, I haven't traded because of I was really focused on starting my own firm. But how I
Right.
trade is the same how I used to trade back in 2017 when I was learning. It's the same strategy. I start my analysis from daily time frame. I just look at the overall sentiment of the market. And when I say sentiment, I don't look at each pair. I look at the currency itself. Market makers, the big boys, when they move the market, they buy or sell, they don't buy a specific pair. They either buy a currency or they dump a currency. So you need to look from the currency standpoint, like point of view.
Right.
It's US dollar, so you need to see what US dollar is doing across all pairs. You need to see what euro is doing across all pairs. So that's what I do on daily time frame. Then I move down to 1 hour. On 1 hour, I just see the recent momentum as well as the recent break of market structure. So market is moving. If you want, I can share the screen. Just tell me, I can share the screen and give you
Sure,
the
sure.
idea.
Do it. No problem. Like people needs to learn that. So on the chart, they will learn more like how it's gonna work. So sure.
All right. So let's just say here I have the daily time frame. Now this
Hmm.
is gold. Let me go to currency pair Euro USD. Okay. Now on Euro USD on daily time frame, what market is doing? Yes, the market right here Euro is going up, but look at the way how it's going up. It's going up like this. It's going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, coming down.
Yeah.
Right.
No problem.
So when market is going up on Euro USD, let's just say it reached this area on daily time frame, and this was the resistance or a market price from where market dropped significantly. Now it's struggling here, right?
Yeah.
On daily time frame, it's struggling. So that's what I'm just seeing. Once I do the sentiment and sentimental analysis, once I find out the correlation and all those things, it's rejecting from here. It's not supposed to reject if you want to go up. So on 1 hour, now I look at that on 1 hour. Yes, we have this market right here from where we have this point reference point right here from where we are rejecting. Now this reference point for me is really really important. Why? How many times market rejected from here? One time, 2 times, then it came near
Before.
to it, good, right? Major rejections here.
Yeah.
So every time when it's coming here, it's getting rejection. What if market on 1 hour time frame it breaks through that area and it goes up? If it breaks through that area and it goes up significantly with a lot of momentum, that means market have broken the major level of resistance. So for
Resistance.
me, that's going to be a break of market structure. All right.
All right.
When market is going to go up, it's going to make what? It's going to make a higher high. Okay, it's going to make a higher high, and we can confirm only if the market is actually making higher high. If market is actually in uptrend, is when we know market is making higher high as well as higher low sequence, because these are the two elements for uptrend. So market is going to break the structure, assuming what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to 15-minute time frame, and on 15-minute time frame, I'm going to wait for the pullback, because without the discount, for me, pullbacks are basically discounts I never buy or I even never sell. Now, how pullback is going to look like is, let's say this is the high price. Market is going to try to go down, then we'll go up again. But if it fails to break the small level of higher high, because now we are on 15 minute, that's why I'm using the word small. If it's
Mhm.
going to fail to break through the higher high, it's going to come back. When it will come back, I want it to break a structure, which is right here, small, now miniature level of structures. If it's going to break it, I'm going to count this movement, this leg.
Mhm.
If we get a separation like this, I will count it first leg. Okay,
Okay.
that is first leg for me. Now I need always three movements or three legs. So how are they going to look like? Now we have a new market structure, small structure, which is right here, sport level. I want the second leg to come from here, and I want to break this level. Once it breaks, there should be again buyers showing some momentum, showing some strength, or showing some sort of movement.
Mhm.
If it's going to be like that, then I will count it that, okay, now I have the second leg. Okay, and we have a new reference point, which is this. Market broke this structure. I counted this movement after we saw some buyers when like sellers ended. I counted this movement, my first leg. Then market broke the low of first leg. I counted that movement as a second leg of a pullback. And then the last one is going to come, which is going to be the third one. Now, after the third one comes, it should go below the low of the second leg, but it should come back right in. And buyers should come with a lot of strength, making this V looking formation. You see V?
Yeah.
On charts, it exactly looks like that. Right now, I don't have the example, but this is the theory that I'm sharing. Now,
Mhm.
once we have this V formation, the final thing I wait is market to just make a slow little bit of movement like this, one candle down, one candle up,
Mhm.
something like that, to come back to the low of V formation, which is right here. And then I take the buy, because that's for me a confirmation. I take a buy, put my stops below the V formation and my target at the higher high. Okay.
Amazing.
Usually it gives me around 2.5 minimum risk to reward ratio, but depending on how good the trade is, from where I'm taking the trade, when I'm taking the trade, what are my exit levels, which are usually the higher high or lower low in case of sell, it's like 3 or 3.5 risk to reward. And because I'm very picky when it comes to trading, I barely take a trade. It's always like between two trades or maximum three trades per week. So that's how I trade now. I will tell you one psychological thing is psychological point here. Let's say this buyer's movement happened.
Mhm.
How many people you think are going to sell? Not many,
Not
probably no
many.
one, because yeah, because of this strong buyers movement.
Yeah.
Okay, when these sellers will come, how many are going to sell? Not many, because they are still looking at this buyers
Bias.
movement.
Yeah.
Now, when market will break this structure
A
and
lot of people
sellers
will
will
sell.
come down, initially people will start. Still, not a lot of people. Why? Because it's just like the confusion part. Confusion means they are now thinking, if market is supposed to go up, or it's if this big movement that happened from buyers, it is actually the movement, then why we are
It's
having a sell
coming.
movement?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like a confusion. Now, what I said for uptrend, we need higher high and
Yeah.
higher low, right? For downtrend, what we need lower low and lower high.
Low, high.
So don't you won't you say this price is lower than this,
Yes.
and this is the higher low? Oh, sorry, lower
Low,
high.
high. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what we have now is lower low and lower high. So after this movement, this seller's movement that will start to happen and which will break this lower low, this is going to be the confirmation. People are going to think, okay, we have a lower low, we have a lower high. Lower high is this, lower low is this, but now market even broke it. So
Yeah.
broke it till this point. So it's for me, I call it a confirmation. Now, some people will jump into the trade from here for sell, but many of them, people are gonna go crazy when this lower low will,
Low is break.
uh, yeah, market will break it. So people are gonna jump into a lot of sell from here. Now, when people are gonna jump into a lot of sell, why I said buyers need to come up, because they need to eat the stop loss. Stop loss hunt should happen. Now, people, all the world, majority of the world retail traders are looking at this as a sell. They are thinking this is a sell. But the big players, they are waiting right
For
here.
the long term
They
move.
know that this is, yeah. So when this is going to happen, many of them, people who actually understand how the market moves, the big players, they're going to be entering into the trade from here and then putting the stops maybe here, depending on how they trade, and targets are going to be there. I know it's like a bit of a
Interesting.
messy drawing, but
No,
that's
but it's
like
an
to give you
interesting,
the
really
idea.
interesting strategy that you share right now. It is a really interesting strategy. I mean, actually,
That's I use every day.
that's amazing. I mean, you have a perfect, simple, and exit like a on point strategy that this is the where I will where to enter, where to exit. So amazing. Nice explanation there.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay. So as you mentioned that you know you were doing YouTube and sharing your ideas there. So have you ever come at a point where you started wanted to start an education uh, series or something?
I did have the community. I had few hundred people in the community. I used to teach them. I had one-on-one students as well, where I used to teach them separately. But I came across the point when I thought it's taking a lot of time,
Mhm.
and because I wasn't charging that much, and I don't believe that I should charge thousands of dollars. Other than one-on-one students, I wasn't charging like thousands of dollars. One-on-one students were the ones who I used to charge a lot. So the community was there. I had few hundred people. I had a course. It's still on the website. It's like I think 1,499. But I used to mostly give like for 200 or 300 long time ago in 2022 and 2023. But then I just stopped advertising it. Then I stopped like sharing it with the people.
Mhm.
Now what I do, it's like I believe that if I was charging that, I should not do it. Now we have even made it public for everyone. So anyone who is joining our subscription list on Funded Squad, they get the access to my course for free. So that's how it works now.
Nice. So basically you are educating people at the same site, and you are doing your best so people should know like how to do that.
That's true.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So tell us more about your prop firm. Like as you mentioned about the account size, instant funding models, and how it will work, right? So what kind of rules you have, and why they are different, like percentage
All right.
wise and
So
everything.
okay, so we have the one-step model as well, which is the industry standard. Same things: 10% target, 6% overall trailing drawdown, 3% daily drawdown. It's like the same thing. We have the two-step models as well. Now, in our two-step, we have the lowest profit target. It's like 6% for phase one, 6% for phase two. You get 8% overall trailing drawdown and 4% daily drawdown. In that two-step, we call it two-step solo challenge. In our two-step squad challenge, we have 8% phase one, 5% phase two. Again, industry standard, where you get 8% overall drawdown, absolute, and 4% daily drawdown. Now, when it comes to the rules, I already explained the instant funding.
Yeah.
There are a few rules that I would like to say is that there is a minimum trade duration, and this minimum trade duration initially it's a soft bridge. When I say it's a soft bridge, like if you are trading and you just close your trade within 2 minutes, we don't reject your payout, neither we reject your account. We just say that make sure the trade is held at least for 2 minutes, whether it's a take profit, you manually close it in stop loss or whatever. Okay, the reason why we have it to avoid HFT. Many people who come with
Right.
prop firms, they try to cheat the system and they use a lot of HFT software. So that's the reason we have, and that's why if you're trading and many of your trades are above 2 minutes, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, two, whatever, and you have few trades which are less than 2 minutes, we don't reject your payout. We consider that software. But if you do it again and again and again, that is considered a violation. So that's a rule. Then I said we had maximum risk per trade rule, but we literally removed that within like 12 hours of our launch because I
Mm.
thought there is no point of us restricting someone uh, by not risking maximum more than 2%. It's their choice, whatever they want to risk. We have daily drawdown and overall drawdown to protect us. So that's one thing. And then we have news trading rule. Now, news trading, it's only on funded accounts, whether it's like funded account from challenge or funded account of instant funding model. It works in a way that within the 8 minute window, 4 minutes prior to news, 4 minutes after the news, you're not allowed to open and close the trade. But let's say if you opened a trade before the news, even 5 minutes before the news, because that does not fall in the 8 minute window, and your trade gets closed in the 8 minute window, we don't consider that a violation. We just remove the profit from that trade, only profit. Okay. You are allowed to then like hit take profit or stop loss before if you open trade at least, let's say, 5 minutes prior to the news, which just does
Right.
not fall in the 8 minute window. You're allowed to hold trade during the news event. But if you opened, let's say, a trade 4 hours prior to the news event, I'm not talking about any news. I'm talking about the red folder news, which are only on Forex Factory. We just take that
Yeah.
from Forex Factory. So if you opened a trade 4 hours prior to news event, then it's fine. Whether you hit your take profit during the news or whatever, we don't say anything. It's your profits. You made it. Good to go. So that's the news trading rule only on funded accounts. Then we have one rule, which is the consistency rule. And that's for our funded accounts as well, not for the challenges. Now, again, we don't believe in rejecting the payouts. We are not going to reject the payouts. We are not rejecting the payouts or anything like that. What we believe in is you should at least trade by following a consistency rule. And that is once you make profits, Let's say you are trading a 100K account, funded account. Again, it's only for funded account. You made $5,000 profit overall. Your biggest profitable day should not be more than 45%. That means $5,000. If you made 5,000, I'm just giving an example. Your
Mm-hmm.
biggest profitable day should not be more than 2,250. But let's say if it's more than 2,250, then what? Then no issues. What we say, please trade more. So that way, that biggest profitable day, which is 2,250 in the example that we are talking, becomes less than 45% of your overall profits. And then once it becomes, you request your payout, you get your payout, I would say.
All
So
right.
that's the only restriction. No payout rejection, nothing. You get your payout. Make sure that your biggest profitable day is under 45% or equivalent to 45%. We don't mind. But if it's above, just trade a little bit more until it becomes less than. Like you get the
Nice.
idea what I'm trying to say. And
Yeah,
these are the
yeah.
only rules we have.
And also, as you mentioned about HFT bots, so do you think like they do really work with even other platforms, and they do
I
work?
have seen many people making hundreds of thousands of dollars using HFT. So they definitely work.
Nice. I mean, like I heard a lot about it, but I have never tried it. So because it's like in my instance, like I have never believed in much about the bots because trading psychology and the way market moves is a really different thing, and how bots are. I understand like there are algorithms that does used by hedge funds, but they are really they put a lot of time to building it, and they do not just give out like that. So
Makes
it's a
sense. That's true.
yeah. Right. So, what will the, like main last advice you will be giving to the community here, traders or people who are would like to join, in the trading world? So, what will be the advice you will give to the people?
So everyone who is watching right now, many of you traders, you may be struggling right now, or you may have not started, but let's say you are the ones who just started out and you are struggling, you haven't made significant profits or anything, I do recommend please you just focus on the long term vision. Don't just think that it's going to happen overnight. Nothing comes overnight. If someone is selling you a dream that you're going to be profitable within 2 3 months, that's all BS. It doesn't work that way. Make sure when things are not going to go in your favor, do not give up. Many people, even in your family, it can be your parents as well, they may not believe in you and they may say it's gambling, stop doing this, you are wasting your money, you're wasting your time. Trust me when I say to you, it has happened to everyone out there. It has happened to me. They don't trust you. They don't think you can do it, but you need to trust yourself and you need to do the best that you can possibly do. Spend as much time as learning. Don't invest right now. Okay. Make sure that you do demo trading first. You understand the different parts of trading. But when you go, you start small. Instead of risking thousands of dollars, just start to learn the emotions on the live account by maybe doing 200, 300, a small amount. And there are now firms out there, pro firms out there. Of course, many of them are rejecting the payouts, but there are many as well, including Funded Squad, who don't believe in rejecting the payout. You have the great opportunity now. You have to make sure that you define your skills to the point that when you start with the firm, you get to complete the evaluation, you control your emotions, you do your good risk management, and then you reach your profit split. Back in
Right.
the days when I started and many of the traders out there started, we never had such opportunity. Prop firms are great, man. They're literally life changing. They have changed my life personally, and I definitely believe that it has changed thousands of traders out there's lives as well. So that's my advice for everyone who's watching right now.
Amazing, amazing. Also, one last question will be like, do you believe that having some certain rule in life, as you mentioned before, that remove one rule, one bad habit from your life. So, do you believe that having an meditation or any kind of a mindset, a mind exercise, does help you to become a better profitable trader, and also does some kind of a gym, or you can say take any other life perspective, so does that really help having a comfortable life, and does help in the trading
So it definitely comes down to the point whether you are meditating or whether you're going to gym. Both of them are what they are disciplines. You do them every single day, even if you don't want to do them, because you have to do. You feel like doing it, or even if you won't feel like doing it, it's you think that if you go to gym, it's gonna have a good impact on your life. It's the same thing. So make sure that meditation also I want to mention it does help, but it again all comes down to having a discipline, whether you are doing meditation or you are doing gym or you're doing anything in your life. So you just need one discipline that you can have, and you can start with that, one baby steps at each time. You start with
yeah
one thing, you then go for another, then third, then fourth, and ultimately you're going to be a really disciplined person. Whether you are meditating every day, you're going to gym every day, ultimately you're going to be a good profitable trader as well, disciplined trader as well, because you are disciplined in one thing and you can be disciplined in trading as well.
Amazing. All right. That was the whole podcast, guys. Like, I would put the link of the funded squad in the description. So do go and check that out. All right. So yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching the podcast. I hope I see you in the next video, and thank you for joining Ajwad with the podcast here.
Pleasure is all mine, man. Thank you so much for having me.